Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. This week's Parsha is out of Chukas. Parshas Chukas, Moshe Rabbeinu and Klal Yisrael are preparing to enter Eretz Yisrael, and they come to the border of the land of Moab, the Moabites, the Amorites, and here, when they approach the Amorites, so they send, and they said, allow us to pass through, go through your land into Israel. But of course, the Amorites with the king Sichon, it is their responsibility and duty to prevent anyone from entering the land of Israel. They were hired to protect that area. They refuse, and they come to war against Klal Yisrael, and it says that Klal Yisrael miraculously defeats them without suffering one casualty. And they take all of their land. And then the Torah says, because this land that the Torah lists and enumerates, this land was won in battle by Sichon. That Sichon hired those to come and to curse his enemies. They said a fire will come out from Heshbon, the city, and it will consume the Moabite land that Sichon is about to attack. When the Torah goes on for 4 or 5 psukim telling us about this historical event in which Sichon was able to conquer his enemies of Moab and take over some of the land. Question is, why do we need to know that? Well, they tell us because that the Moabite land was off limits to Klal Yisrael. It was given to Avraham that he should give to Lot, and Lot's daughter had a son Moab. We could not take that land. Once that land was transferred to the jurisdiction of Sichon, the Amorite, then it became possible for Klal Yisrael to conquer it and take it. That's fine. But why did the Torah have to elaborate 3 or 4 verses telling us the historical events of how Sichon conquered the land? After defeating Sichon, Klal Yisrael goes north, and here they are attacked by Og, the king of Bashan, who comes with his mighty armies. And Og was a man of gigantic proportion. And Hashem says to Moshe, Al tira Isai, do not be afraid of him. I have placed him in your hands. You will do to him as you did to Sichon and his armies. And indeed, Moshe himself destroys Og, and Klal Yisrael defeats them and is able to take their land. Rashi says, why was Moshe Rabbeinu afraid of Og, that Hashem had to reassure him and say, don't be afraid? So Rashi quotes from the Gemara in Brachos, in which it says that Moshe was concerned that Og, he was alive during the time of Avraham Avinu. And when Avraham's nephew Lot was taken into captivity, it was Og who went and informed Avraham. Avraham was very concerned about this because Avraham perceived that from Lot will come Moab, from Moab will come Rus, from Rus will come King David, from King David will come Mashiach. And this Avraham saw was all found in the seed of Lot. So Avraham went and he rescued Lot. Moshe was concerned. Maybe this great deed of Og, that he helped Avraham rescue his nephew, that might be a merit for Og. Commentaries ask a question. What was Og's intention when he told Avraham? It wasn't anything of high moral standard. Og placed his eyes on Sarah, Avraham's wife, who was beautiful. And he was hoping that Avraham would go to battle and die in battle, and then he would take Sarah as his wife. Og's intentions could not have been further from performing a kindness to Avraham. Why would Moshe be concerned? Because they say that nevertheless, despite his evil intentions, he did perform a kindness. It's hard to understand. So our sages explain, and they say, Og was alive during the time of Avraham. This is 400 years Og was years old. Some even say that Og was alive during the flood and was able to hang on to the ark and somehow survive. Og was centuries, 400, 500, 800 years old. And Moshe was thinking, why is it that Hashem blessed Og with such arichas yomim, such longevity? It must be that this is payment for Og's remarkable kindness that he performed for Avraham, despite the fact that his intentions were not appropriate. But nevertheless, he performed the kindness, and Avraham was able to rescue Lot, and from Lot we will have the seed of Mashiach. That's what concerned Moshe. And Hashem says to Moshe, Al tira, don't be concerned. Why? The Medrash, it says, and the Targum Yonasan ben Uziel quotes this, that Avraham and Sarah were renowned as great, great righteous people. And Og came to them and he said, how is it that if you are so holy and so righteous and you serve God, the one true God you speak about, you should be so beloved to God. How is it possible that you and Sarah are childless? God doesn't even bless you with a child. How could that be? And Hashem said, Og, you will witness with your own eyes the offspring of Avraham and Sarah. And for that reason, Hashem kept Og alive centuries until now. Here he is on the east bank of the Jordan River, the land called Bashan. And now here comes Klal Yisrael, millions of people. There were over 603,000 men from the ages of 20 to 60. There were those older than 60, those younger than 20. There were women. There were millions of people. And Hashem was saying, oh, take a look at the offspring of Avraham and Sarah, who you ridiculed, that didn't have any children. Look what happens. And with that, Og went to war against them. And Hashem said to Moshe, don't be concerned. He wasn't given longevity because of any meritorious behavior. Quite the contrary. It's in order that he should see the true reward for those who are righteous and faithful in the eyes of God, for Avraham and Sarah. What the Torah is showing us is that sometimes we see something and we don't know the true cause. We might see events and we might attribute one's success to this event or that event. But the Torah is telling us, you see the great longevity of Og, don't think it's because he's someone special. On the contrary, it's because he is evil that he will come face to face with that which will repudiate the ridicule that he presented to Avram and Sarah, and then Og will meet his demise. And this, our sages tell us, is what the Torah is showing us in its discussion of Sichon. People think, why was he so successful as a general, conquering Moabite armies, taking over, confiscating their land? What is the secret for his success? Oh, he hired some prophets, he hired some people to curse his enemies, and he's a great warrior of great skill and dexterity. That's the reason. And the Torah is telling us, wrong. Do you know why he was successful? He was successful, and even though he conquered and he hired and he did this and did that, the reason for his success is that this land of Moab, which is off limits to Klal Yisrael, should now be transferred unto Og, that which happened decades earlier. The reason why it happened is because of God's divine plan, that years later, decades later, this land needs to come into the control of Klal Yisrael. Therefore, Hashem will enable Og to be successful in his endeavors, whether it's hiring someone to curse his enemies, having a great skilled army, that's irrelevant. The reason why it happened is because it's the will of Hashem. We think that our success can be attributed to all of our hard work and all of our dedication. We think the success of our armies in Israel, of our sons and daughters, their success is limited to their know-how and their scientific excellence and their great skills and the United States helping them. It's all true. Their skills are magnificent. Their scientific knowledge is outstanding. The United States helping, we're extremely grateful, but let's not fool ourselves. That's not why we were successful. We are successful because it's part of Hashem's divine plan. That's the reason. And that's what the Torah is showing us. This needs to be our focus. Not to be impressed by, ooh, look at this, look what's happening here, look what's happening there. There is a divine plan. And we must always look and seek the will of Hashem, how Hashem is manipulating events to bring about his desired result. May Hashem enable us that we should be able to see clearly and comprehend the hashgacha pratis, the unique special care that Hashem has for his chosen people, and see God's control of everything that transpires. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay Jewish. Have a wonderful